Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. My name is Cindy. You're going to be seeing this on June 22nd. So, again, thank you. We are overwhelmed and so appreciative and so grateful for all of the prayers, the support, the private emails I've gotten with suggestions and ideas, the different and very healing type of ceremonies that have been done on Vanessa's behalf. No, but please don't eat the cord. Sorry, cat. We just could not be more grateful. The update is this. Vanessa is doing much, much better. So just so you know, to answer some of sort of the overall arching questions, they've ruled out Bell palsy. They do not believe it is MS. They really do believe it was a complex migraine with an aura, which caused a functional overlay, which created the stroke-like symptoms. And they were able to break the migraine habit, but the functional overlay was causing a problem. They did a nerve block on her yesterday, and she is feeling amazingly better. And she's going to be having her second, actually, MRI shortly. I'm going to be taking her shortly after I finish recording this. She's had CAT scans. She's had ultrasounds. She's had copious amounts of blood work done. They really, really are on it. She's getting amazing care. She's feeling so much better. And truly, aside from all of the remarkable medical care she's gotten, I am more than aware of all of the energetic healing that she has received through prayers and your love and your good thoughts, et cetera, et cetera. So I thank you very, very, very much for all of it. Okay. Wow. Okay. So like, woohoo, things sure are heating up in the hearings, eh? So yesterday on Tuesday, it was about um, the sort of the bullying, right, that went on, and Republican or no Republican, the people that were getting really hammered about the things they needed to do to make the election turn in Trump's favor. And of course, you know, um, the two lovely ladies who told their horrible story about having their entire life just like disrupted because of Trump and Giuliani and the absolute lies that they not only were telling the big lie, but the lies that they were telling about these two women in particular is just horrible. I want to know why we have not heard. Maybe we will hear now, but I'm thinking, hello, Giuliani and Trump, you really should be sued by these women for, I don't know, what is that, defamation of character or slander? I don't know, but really, whatever it is, those two in particular should get their butts hauled into court and have it like sued, in my humble opinion. So summer, it's getting hot, hot, hot. On Thursday, tomorrow afternoon, is going to be yet another hearing. And there has now been some information released that there was another documentarian who has hours and hours and hours of tape pertaining to the Trump family, conversations that went on, et cetera, et cetera. So that's going to be super interesting. The J6 committee now has access to that. So this is the thing, energetically, I want to tell you that, they really are making tremendous, tremendous headway. As this goes on, you're going to see sort of more Republicans starting to shift to that place where even if they don't want him tossed in jail, there's going to be, I think, a heightened sense of awareness about just how big and how expansive that big lie was, and how, so much went into kind of choreographing the whole thing. And not only to the extent that Donald Trump was sort of masterminding this thing. Although I don't really, mastermind isn't quite the word I'm looking for. I think pushing, bullying is a closer description of what he was doing. But they will continue to investigate, and you can anticipate that a lot of the political figures or prominent Republicans who played a part and a role in this, you're going to see eventually them also being, kind of called to task on this. So, I think somehow in some way we sort of thought of the January 6th hearings as kind of the culmination. Sorry, excuse me. I'm actually starting to think that they are not a culmination as much as they are like midterms, right? Like they're sort of giving us an update of everything that they have accumulated so far. But I believe they're going to continue to accumulate some stuff, and we're going to continue to hear about it. So let's take a look at some of the impacts and the ramifications. I want to take a look at sort of the, let's take a look at the Department of Justice. Let's start there. I want to take a quick look at them. I maintain that they are investigating and that there are going to be, indictments coming forward. So that would be, very good. Look at that, eh? Got the Devil and the Lovers, so partnerships of a not high consciousness type, a lot of greed, a lot of power, a lot of, really, really partnerships, strange bedfellows. Okay, that's the word that's coming to mind. That combination of people that get together sort of, and everybody has their own agenda. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on, and I think we're going to hear more and more and more about it. By the way, also good news that they've managed to get a small but significant, just in the fact that it's the first one in decades, some gun legislation through the Senate. So also impressive. Let's hope that that kind of carries forward and ends up on Biden's desk, and this stuff can get passed into law sooner than later. All right, come on down because I have some questions. Here we go. Oops, here we go. Okay, so we're going to start with the Department of Justice. Now, Garland has said that he's watching the hearings. His January 6th investigators are watching them. They have requested documents, etc., from the January 6th committee. The January 6th committee is being mindful of the fact that there are other investigations going on. So, let's just take a look and see what we can anticipate. Maybe let's look at it that way. Department of Justice investigations, January 6th and surrounding. Department of Justice, January 6th, investigations and surrounding. Department of Justice, January 6th, investigations and surrounding. Let's take a look. If you heard that bang, that's thunder. We're actually having a bit of a rainstorm out here this afternoon. Okay, here we go. Okay, Magician, nice. Judgment, perfect. Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Okay, so let's just start here. So make no mistake, not only were their own investigations going on, but they are going to be, the Department of Justice is going to be getting huge amounts of information from the January 6th committee. And the bonus of that is that, the Department of Justice has much stronger subpoena power and that kind of thing. So they're going to be able to perhaps get some insights that the January 6th committee has not been able to get. But make no mistake, they are gathering and accumulating what they need. There is no question that there are going to be indictments. There is going to be judgment passed. And I'm seeing actually, this is the thing. The Department of Justice has um, kind of done that ripple thing, right? They started at the outside circle, you trespassing, you did this or you did that, and the circle is getting smaller and smaller and tighter, and the very center, of course, is Trump. You're going to see the Department of Justice tightening those circles, okay? So whether they're going to go after the fake electors, whether they're going to go after some of the Republican politicians, perhaps some of the lawyers involved, and ultimately you're going to see them finally ending up uh, with the Trump family. And one of the things that's going to happen is there's going to be some trouble created simply by like lies, just lies that get told, especially now that there is this video of the sort of Trump conversations, family stuff. So you're going to see they said one thing to daddy, and a few months later now they're saying something else to investigators or whatever. So you're going to see some issues there. I don't think that's going to be actually what takes them out. That's going to be again, the kind of small stuff that accumulates. The Department of Justice is very, very mindful of sort of the two sides of the emotional um, reaction to this. On the one hand, you have those people who are, um, still believing, frankly, that the Dems cheated, despite everything. But and you have the other side of the spectrum that is like, how much more does anybody need to see to prove the kind of conspiracies that were going on and the coordination that was going on in terms of trying to overturn the government? Literally, I mean, this was an attempted coup, no question. But what you're going to see is them trying to find um, it's not middle of the road, because there's going to come that sort of determination that no man is above the law, and I feel that the Justice Department is going to move forward under that premise, but they're moving carefully. And you know what? We have gotten confirmation now that Garland and the Department of Justice is on this. They're working on it. They're investigating it. They're expanding their sort of base of knowledge by trying to get additional information. Let's just all sort of cut them a little bit of slack, and allow them the time to continue to bring those investigations to fruition. You don't want a situation where they rush to some sort of a judgment and then they're out on loopholes or there's problems or whatever. Now, granted, I don't know what kind of lawyers the Trump or the Trump family, frankly, can afford to defend themselves with. I mean, maybe Ivanka and Jared are in better shape, I'm going to say, maybe than Trump. But either way, it's going to be a lot. But trust the energy, and the energy is saying they're absolutely moving forward. And because of how things are right now, they're going to continue to do it quietly and kind of, secretly. That's the deal. That's how things work. But they continue to get information. It just keeps on coming. It just keeps on coming. And I think ultimately, as a general statement, I think the people of the United States are probably going to be quite pleased with the results, and no doubt a little frustrated by, frankly, the amount of time it's going to take to make this all come together. But you know what? That is just absolutely part of it. So, so we know that Trump has tootled off to whatever the name of that golf course is in New Jersey, where he spends the summer. If I step into his energy, it's pretty darn volatile, I have to say. There's a lot of ranting and raving going on. He did not realize or understand the scope and the amount of information that the January 6th committee had accumulated. And so you see now he's lashing out at Kevin McCarthy because, he didn't handle that whole situation right. But, kudos to uh, Benny Thompson and Liz Cheney for ensuring that that thing was bipartisan without the crazy politics, without the Jim Jordans yelling and screeching in the background and taking up time and just nonsense. So that's going to continue to move forward. But like I said, I don't think that Trump had any idea how extensive and expansive the information they had was. The latest, oh my God, in case you guys have missed it, um, yesterday, I think it was, Trump stopped just short of calling John Eastman the coffee boy. It was, well, I hardly knew him. I didn't, I don't know, which is just such a load of crap. But, I don't know. Maybe it's getting to be a badge of honor if Trump calls you the coffee boy as he throws you under the bus and kicks you in the head on the way down. Let's take a look at how Trump is doing in with more clarity. I want to see how he's actually doing. As I'm stepping into that energy, his health is feeling a little bit, it's not precarious. It's just like anger. I mean, anger and stress does a whole lot of stuff to the body. And it definitely feels like that is something that he is dealing with, whether it is headaches or just high blood pressure, whatever it is. It doesn't feel like he physically is in any kind of really amazing shape right now. Insight into Trump, insight into Trump, insight into Trump. I want to know how he's doing. And again, this falls into the, keep your friends close, your enemies closer. I want to keep checking in on him and seeing what's going on there. He's starting to feel the pressure now. He's not feeling well. He doesn't like the news that's coming out. For right now, there is still a sense that he thinks on some level he can escape it or avoid it. But it definitely feels as if slowly but surely he's starting to realize that not only are they coming after him, but more that he's starting to lose his power. I was pleased to see that in those elections that were held in Georgia yesterday, they once again rebuffed Trump and the candidates that he endorsed. So way to go, Georgia. I think for kind of the craziness, it is being balanced by some smart voters who have been paying attention and who have become really aware, I think to a greater degree, exactly how the levers of power work and how the government can get absolutely stalled if there aren't enough Democrats in positions of power. And I know the runoffs yesterday had to do with Republicans, but what I'm saying is there seems to be a greater awareness, and those people who were pushing the big lie have been pushed back in Georgia. So that's wonderful. Alabama, apparently, the Trump-sponsored person got in, but no offense to people in Alabama, but it's Alabama. Okay, so this is how he's doing. He's not liking the news that's coming at him. He's really starting to feel trapped. He still thinks he's still toying with the idea that there are some options left to him. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's not toying with the idea of kind of escaping the country, like leaving the country. But I don't feel that that has solidified in any real way. I think it is at this point just something, ideas that he's sort of toying with, because there is a part of him that really feels that he can still get out of this. And why wouldn't he feel that way? He has been able to do it his entire life, for goodness sakes. He's never been held accountable to anything, including 2 impeachments. So he has good reason to believe that when it really comes down to it, he is going to escape this without consequence, because that has been the story of his life. And at this point, despite the rage, despite the fact that he's really not feeling good, despite the fact that he's sort of working on some contingencies, in his heart of hearts, he actually really believes that he's just not going to pay a price. But despite what he thinks, there is going to be continued investigations. He really is going to start feeling like he's been, kind of, I don't know, cursed by female prosecutors, because he's not going to catch a break. And that's exactly what we are seeing now, right? He's not getting away with anything. Nobody is sort of cutting him any some slack. Um, you know, he just wants everybody to give him a break, and I think his break days are over, and I think he's actually starting to realize that and recognize that. He's really concerned, almost more than anything, about the investigations pertaining to money, to fundraising, to that kind of thing. Because let's face it, he doesn't have any allegiance to the country, certainly none to the Constitution, certainly none to any of the people around him, including his own children. All he really cares about is his money. And he's getting a little bit concerned because the talk about what went on with the fundraising and the looking into that and that kind of stuff, that really has him, I almost want to say, more unhinged than just about anything. He still has this amazing capacity to not hear anything that he is told that does not align with his own belief structure, with his own idea of how things should be. And in some ways, it really does act as a really good defense mechanism, right? He just isn't going to hear what he doesn't want to hear. The things he does hear tend to be about money and his money. That's where he sort of perks up and pays attention. But if you're actually talking about, other illegal acts, treason, a coup attempt, because they don't really have any meaning for him, because he has no loyalty, right? He didn't have any loyalty to the states or the country or the people around him. What really fires his butt up is fear of money. Yeah. Um, Interestingly, he's going to be harshly judged um, on a few things. One of it is the actual flat cheating and the bullying. The average person may not be able to exactly relate to fake electors and what they were trying to do and exactly how that all works out. But you know what? The average person can certainly relate to Lady Ruby and her daughter, whose first name I've forgotten. I think it's Shay, but I could be wrong. Um, but both very impressive testimony yesterday. And like I say, people can relate to that. Um, and that is actually, interestingly, where there's going to be a lot of harsh judgment coming his way. The staunch Republicans, the Republicans who right at the beginning of all their testimonies say, I voted for him, I wanted him to win. But that's going to be where there's actually a kind of a shifting, I think, of perspective. that's where he's going to actually start feeling those, kind of death by 1,000 cuts. That's where you're going to see the shift. Um, and and again, there's going to be that percentage of people who absolutely, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're told. It doesn't matter what evidence they have. The bottom line is they just flat aren't going to believe anything unless it comes out of his mouth. But that number is, you're going to see it diminishing, and that makes him crazy. And you're going to see, that sort of that kingmaker energy also starting to get eroded. And those are the things, aside from money, that makes him absolutely crazy, because he really does see that somehow or another, ultimately, the only thing that's going to protect him is going to either be him getting back into the presidency, which is not going to happen. I don't think he's not going to be capable of running, or ensuring that there are enough people in high government positions that can block any attempts to go after him. But time goes fast, but not fast enough. It is still quite a ways away from the next big election. Yeah. So, this is the thing, right? He doubles down. This is what he's always done. It's not surprising that he continues to do that. I mean, that gentleman, Rusty Bauer, so the Speaker of what House, Arizona, House in Arizona. Um, so yesterday morning, what does Trump do? He sends out this message saying, he told me I won the election. He told me there was cheating. Well, you know what? That really loses its impact when an hour later, they've got this guy under giving sworn testimony saying that did not happen. I never told him that. And worse, they never were able to produce the um, evidence that the kind of stuff they said happened did happen. So slowly, he's really starting to feel the impact of the law. Okay. Um, I think that's kind of good for today. I am hoping that I will be able to get a video out for this Friday. We shall see if that happens. Just hang on a second.
I'm Vanessa. I am doing much better. Thank you, everyone, for your concern, your thoughts, your healing rituals and prayers that you've been sending my way. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks, Nessa. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Until next time, take care, be well. Bye bye.